What? You have a surprise for me? Wow, I have a surprise for you too. Ta-da! Did you love it? Really? Thank you. Guys, if you don't follow me on any social medias, you don't know me personally, I cut my hair. But that is not the purpose of this video. First and foremost, thank you for coming back. If you're new, thank you for clicking on my video, and I hope you watch other videos and you'll like them. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back all the time. You're the real MVP. So let's get into today's video. Okay, so the purpose of today's video is basically mental health. So today is the 10th of October, which is Mental Health Awareness Day, and I decided what better day to start off my mental health series of videos than on Mental Health Awareness Day. So first and foremost, what is mental health? So mental health is your social, emotional, and psychological well-being. Mental health affects how you think, how you react, how you cope, and how you relate to other people, you know? So you might ask, why mental health? You see, in a country such as ours, in Namibia, mental health is not taken serious. And when you do want to bring up the topic of mental health, they either say it's a white people's disease, black people can't have mental issues, you're too young to have mental issues, you don't have anything to worry about, you don't have anything to be depressed about, you are overreacting, you are faking it, you're trying to chase clout. I've seen somebody say people are talking about mental issues and people are saying they're depressed and what to chase clout, which is weird. Okay, so some people say you're chasing clout, some people say that you're faking it, some people say you're just doing it for the sake. Okay, that's the same as chasing clout. You're just doing it to get attention. Yeah, that's the most. My middle finger. That's the one that irritates me the most. That people with mental issues or people who feel like their mental health is not okay are chasing clout. So we need to educate ourselves on what mental health is, and we need to have open and honest discussions about mental health. And that's the only way we will move forward. Once you are in a pit emotionally, you really don't want to do anything. You don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to work, and this impacts your relationships as well, you know. So there is a need to talk about mental health because we need to break the stigma. We need to break the stigma that mental health is a white people's disease. We need to break mental illnesses are white people's diseases. We need to break the stigma that a person who suffers from mental illness is crazy, and this person is a write-off, this person is faking, this person is pretending, this person is looking for attention. We need to have open conversations about our mental health so that we as black people, we as a nation are able to go out there when we feel like our mental health is not at the state where we need it to be. We're able to go out there and look for help without feeling ashamed, you know. So many people know that they are not where they need to be mentally, emotionally, but they go on with their daily life because they're afraid to tell somebody. They're afraid to tell somebody that, no, I'm having a really bad day and I think I need to talk to somebody, and I'm having a really bad year, my life is really not going the way I want it to be, you know. And most people are afraid to talk to their friends about it. Most people are afraid to talk to their families about it because of all the stigma around it. If you tell somebody now that you think you're depressed, especially if you're a guy, and a black guy for that matter, you will be laughed at. You know, people will laugh in your face and be like, you're not a woman, you're overreacting, you're not white, which is wrong. Men need to be heard as well. Men need safe spaces to talk about their trauma and their hurt as well. This is not just a woman's thing. And women also have that fear of talking because they're afraid their friends will tell somebody, oh no, she's having a bad day. Oh no, she's still crying over her ex after 3 years. These things happen. People heal in their own time. And you know, it's these little things that build up, and people have horrible episodes when they do not check their mental health. You'll find yourself breaking down in the middle of nowhere because you're so tired of always holding these emotions in, of always bottling it up, you know. And like I like the analogy of a Coke bottle. So if you shake a Coke bottle and then you open it, it will burst open. That's the same with a person. Once you keep suppressing your emotions and suppressing your sadness and suppressing your trauma and everything, it will shake. It keeps shaking because you're putting them on top of each other instead of opening up and talking to people. And eventually you will open up and you will burst, and you might just, it might reach a stage where it is a stage of no return. Yo, English guys. Hey, I must get my school fees back. Okay, anyways, yeah, so we need to have open discussions about mental health so that we can help the next person, you know. If I understand mental health and if I understand the illnesses, then I am able to help you, or able to help a person that comes to me. And sometimes you feel like you can't talk to your friends, you can't talk to your family, then therapy is there. And unfortunately in Namibia, therapy is not as cheap as it should be. So many people are afraid to go to therapy. People know that they're not okay, and it's not, sometimes it's not even like hit the rock bottom yet, but you're slowly getting there. You're seeing your mental state slowly but surely degrade, and you see yourself slowly but surely slipping away. But instead of seeking help, you just continue. You're afraid, and you're afraid to seek help, you're afraid to be judged, you're afraid for people to know your story. And that's a sad reality, and I won't lie, I was one of those people. Not that I was afraid for people to know my story, it's just, it's hard for me to usually open up. My friends know this, I hardly open up, I hardly, unless it's something very deep, I will not open up to that extent, you know. So for me, it became a thing of the problems were bottling up. It was childhood trauma, it was, you know, things that happen in life that the sadness just keeps going, man. It just till it reaches here, and then you just blow, you know. So for me, it was a thing of I noticed it. I could see myself slipping away, but I was like, it's nothing. I can handle this. I'm a strong, independent black woman. I've got this. Why do I need therapy? Okay, why? But it got to a point where I realized that, hi, man, it's not going to help me. I'm not getting better. I'm not seeing change. So I was like, okay, this is the year, 2020 now. I was like, okay, this is the year. A series of events happened last year, and then it reached like, and I was like, okay, I can still manage this. I knew that I was about to break, but I was like, I can still manage this, man. I studied psychology. I can do this on my own. So what I'm gonna do now? Tell her what you're gonna do. So you're just gonna stop drinking. You're gonna take away all these horrible coping mechanisms, and then you will see yourself up there. You're gonna be the girl. You're gonna get better. And I stopped drinking. I stopped a lot of things that I used as coping mechanisms, and it didn't get better. What did I think? But like, I was like, okay, I stopped drinking. I'm going to get better. I'm going to, you know. I stopped drinking. Hey, I've said that 3 times now. You're probably tired. Yeah, it's yes, you must know I stopped drinking. It's my story. Okay, it's mine. It's my channel. I can tell you. It's my channel. So I stopped drinking, and you know, I thought that okay, that would help, and then I would just have a lot of introspection. I would journal a lot. What? It was not getting better, guys. Till I finally decided, oh, okay, you know what? Before I blow, let me go see a therapist. I went to the first therapist I went to, and he asked, so what brought you here today? Ha, guys, the tears. God was like, open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. The tears, like maybe 20 minutes of that session, I was just crying, and he was just sitting there, like, okay, not crossed, but Like, he was just sitting there and he told me the tissue's over there. I was just crying out and I was just enjoying my cry. And after I composed myself, as when he was like, no, it's okay. Because, you know, sometimes you want to cry, you've bottled up so many things and you want to cry, but you don't want to seem weak, so you don't cry. Even if you cry in your own house, in your own room, you're like, I know you're a big man, why are you crying? But the therapist or therapy or people that understand, they let you cry, and they just, because sometimes you need somebody to cry to, and they just let you cry. He was just there, he let me cry my cries, and then after we spoke about it, and I felt, after the session I felt, you know, I don't know how to put it, but I just felt relieved. I just felt relieved, and I was like, okay, this was good. This was a step into the right direction. But I realized that that therapist and I would not, or not that it would not work, but I don't know, I just, I didn't feel it. He's a good therapist, mind you, he's like excellent, but he was not, the fit was not there. And so I changed therapists. I did. Even when I went there, I cried because I think something triggered me again and I stopped going. Dumbass move. But something triggered me again, and then I decided, okay, let me try. I tried it out. I went there. I was crying out. I cried, but then we spoke through it, and we actually, she helped me untangle the things that were tangled up in my mind. She is like, it was tangled, and then she kind of helped me straighten it. And it's not on like she was telling me, it was she tried to get me to figure out, you know, because most of the times you do know what it is that you need to do, you do know what it is that triggered you, you do know what it is that is hurting you, but you just need somebody to get you to that point. And that is what therapy does. And therapy is very emotionally taxing because the therapist demands you go to a place that you do not want to go to. The therapist demands that you poke holes that you do not want to poke, like holes in your memory. They want you to remember why, where, what, why it hurts, where it started, what happened, like, you know. And honestly, guys, it's not easy. It really isn't easy. But if you want to be a fully functional person, at some point in life, you will need to go to therapy. And it's not always that you are having mental illnesses that is taking you to therapy. Sometimes you're really just not okay. You know, there's sadness and there's pensive sadness, and that not okay, it doesn't get better. If you keep throwing it under the rug, it doesn't get better, it doesn't go away, it gets worse. Yeah. So when you do not have somebody to talk to, when you cannot afford therapy, social workers are just as good. I know the social workers most of the times are overworked with cases, and I appreciate their efforts and them trying, but okay, not but. So like, they are there, they are qualified to listen to you, they're qualified counselors. So the series of mental health will cover everything. I'm going to try and educate as far as possible, as far and wide as possible. We need to openly have conversations about mental health. So I will have mental health discussions from different avenues. We'll talk to I'll have episodes on specific mental disorders. We'll talk to different people about their experiences. We'll talk about everything. I want this series to be as educative as possible. Sorry guys, this video is, there's a lot of rambling going on in this video. It's neither here or there, but I really hope you get the message and you get what I'm trying to do. Please subscribe, please share, please like, please comment. Until next time.